We're going to see TSM took that first game, felt pretty strong. Cloud9 did have a good early game start, get some good ganks off. But overall, TSM looked to know the map a little better, seemed to handle everything slightly better. Like they knew what they were doing a little more. But are we actually streaming? That's the question of the day today. Hello. Okay, we are. We're good. We're good. Now I just gotta wait for 10 years for my computer to load. Here we go. So second game, Treats must be a freaking god on Sona, because I've never seen a Sona ban, and that's happening a lot over here. Interesting banning out the Sivir this time. Guess they don't want... okay, and Instalock Lucian, let's go. TSM, that's a nice aggressive early game pick, nice powerful laner. Interested to see what they pair that up with. Nice. Taking the Thresh away from TSM this time seems like a good idea. The Zyrakan wasn't bad, but definitely didn't end up doing anything in the mid game. Definitely did really well in the early game, but mid game really kind of fell to pieces. Didn't really get the picks they wanted. Lysandra, there we are. That's a world favorite pick right now. We'll see what they pair that up with. It used to be a flex top or mid, but it seems like nowadays it just goes mid lane. So, still thinking about that Thresh. I don't know if they're supposed to be baiting that out or if they're actually talking about taking it from him. The rest of the bans, we got the Kindred ban away from Blabber. I guess he was probably just a god on that, and they just really don't want him to destroy the game as Kindred. Makes sense. Doesn't seem like a Greg champion. I definitely think Greg will end up being that front line again. I think he did an amazing job on Jarvan last game. Set their mid-game plays up really well. Elise, okay, I can dig it. It's a little more early game focused, but again, you've got... I think Greg probably has the most experience on this team. I've heard really good things about him last year. Bjergsen really seemed to like him, so I think if you have a really dominant player, let that player, dominant strategic player, let that player set the plays for you. And Nautilus support. I don't think this gets played top lane anymore, but I really like Nautilus paired with Lucian. That's nice. He's got the crowd control to let Lucian go ham on somebody. Another engage source. Jinx into that. Okay. You are taking advantage of the range matchup, but Jinx not the strongest laner. I guess you're depending on your Thresh to kind of get you the get out of jail free you need. Again, that lantern so huge. So we got a difference between jungle and probably mid. So yeah, we got mid laners getting banned out. The good Cassandra was really strong in Lysandra. Well, Cassiopeia is her actual name, not Cassandra. Cassiopeia, who's pretty good in Lysandra, so that makes sense. We'll probably see jungle bans. I guess Aatrox again, maybe again Kumo's maybe a god on that, and I just don't know Kumo well enough to be able to make that call. But Aatrox getting banned. And again, I think it can still be flex jungle. I haven't seen that in the most recent patches, but it was earlier in the season. Taking the Morgana away from TSM. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Elise has some decent damage herself, so I guess you could feel free to take a little less damage in the mid lane on that Morgana. I think Golden Glue being one of the best players for Cloud9, being on that low damage carry kind of hurt them last time. So even though the rest of their team had a ton of damage, but you're putting them on another not the highest damage playmaker, assuming that's going mid. So we'll see how this goes. Very interesting start. Not as much. Ooh, I like that Hecarim. You got options there. You can give that to Blabber, who I feel like he'd love to just run at people with that. If Kumo isn't as aggressive of a top laner as it looks like he is, I feel like that's going to be a good pick for him too. That being said, you don't really know what you're up against unless it is going jungle. Jace top, NA Jace coming in strong. against the Hecarim. I just played Jason to Hecarim not too long ago. Felt pretty good, but Jason to everything feels good. He did get nerfed on this patch though, so we'll see a little bit there. Oh, so is that Jace mid, I guess? Look at TSM flexing 2 picks in a row. Really interesting to see what TSM does with this comp. You got a lot of engage. You got some ramming into people. Got a lot of attack damage. I mean, fortunately, Elise gives you a little bit of mix, but it feels really attack damage focused. Yeah, I'd be grabbing a heavy tank right now for Cloud9. Get some armor on that Poppy. Let people run into her. That's one thing Poppy loves to do, or running into people herself. Stop the Lucian dashes. I think that'll stop the Nautilus hooks as well. It's going to be interesting. You got two. This is going to be a lot more team fight focused, I feel like. You can 1-3-1 as TSM again. Sion's obviously fine in the side lane. Jace wants to be in a side lane. Versus Poppy and Lissandra, who are definitely more team. But Cloud9 is definitely team fight. We've got a whole bunch of frontline who's running at you with a Jinx who's just going to shoot rockets over the top and feel really good about herself. That being said, you've got a decent amount of range from Cloud9, from TSM, sorry. Nope, from Cloud9. That's it. Nope, Cloud9's, wait a second, Cloud9 has the Jinx. I am really mixing up these comps in my head. Lucian's on the team. Did I misread that or did they misplace that? Let me look at this real quick. So Jinx. I guess both teams can do the same thing. I really feel like these boards are mixed up or I'm just totally derping on the draft right now. This is not good. Okay, so Lucian's on that team. So this is just a run at your face team. You got Lucian who can keep up with everybody running at your face. You got Nautilus who's going to hook his way into your face. You got Hook v Hook. You got... I'm very interested to see... Oh, shoot. Did I screw this up? Man, I misread that. So... No, I definitely didn't. I definitely did not misread that. Okay, I just got a little confused. Okay. Yeah, I really like Cloud9's. That was the thing. I got the teams mixed up. Cloud9's team fight comp. You've got tons of lockdown. You got tons of engage. You got tons of damage coming from the Jinx to follow it all up. You got a ton of AoE. Feels really good. On the other hand, TSM, not bad dive buddies comp. Everybody wants to go forward. Everybody wants to go in. Everybody wants to get to that Jinx. They don't have the most. They want to grab picks. You land that stun from the Elise. That means you can land a hook. That means Sion can ult. That means you got a bunch of poke coming out from the Jace and the Lucian. So mid game is going to be picks versus full team dives. I have a feeling whoever starts the fight will probably have an advantage. There's not a whole lot of disengage on either of these teams. You got Thresh hook or Thresh lantern to get somebody out of jail. You got Lissandra to stall. So man, yeah. Overall, I really like Cloud9's team fight. I feel like they just picked a really strong team fight comp. Lots of good options. Some disengage, like you have speed ups on Hecarim and Poppy, so they can both get out of there pretty quick. Jinx doesn't have a lot of inbuilt escapes, but she's paired with a Thresh, so that feels pretty good. You got Thresh to flay to send people away. Overall, really nice team fighting from them. 1-3-1 potential from TSM, some poke potential between Elise and Jace. You still have a good front line between Sion and Nautilus. You got dive potential. Jace likes to jump in on people. I love diving the AD carry. You trade your life for the AD carry and you've done your job in the late game. So it's going to be really interesting. I feel like Cloud9 has the easier comp, but TSM, if they play things right, has a lot of pick potential, still has a lot of strength within their comps. Lane-wise, you've got mid-lane advantage. I don't think so. Last time they nerfed his E, and that really hurt. Oh my goodness, this fight bot lane already. Definitely, I'd say a win for Cloud9. More split damage between the two of them, but all the damage going on to Lucian feels really good. What's his face? Sion mid just is trying to lose as little as possible. He wants to get as much CS as he can, but overall, he's not winning this lane. And Jace top also feels really good. So it's going to be interesting to see, because there's no... Which side of the map is stronger is really hard to tell. That bad trade bot, like I thought was going to... Oh my word. Man, the repel is so strong for diving. Not strong enough, but good teleport from Golden Glue. You get your double buffs for that. Feels worth it. First blood and double buff feels like a worthwhile teleport. Save your top laner. So getting the push mid lane ended up being the more valuable thing than getting the push top lane. That's huge. Feels like a really awkward dive. You never should be putting yourself between Poppy and a wall. And stopping the knock. I wondered if it would stock that jump from the Elise. Yeah, Jarvan's like, there's nothing I can do for you. Or, not Jarvan, that was last game. Jace is like, there's nothing I can do for you here, Elise. You took a ton of damage before finally repelling. Being able to repel, it's not like she misplayed. She's, well, maybe being between her and the wall was a misplay. And getting the W, having the W stop her little Q. I was not expecting Cloud9 to win this bot lane so hard, though. I guess you still have range. Man, 10 CS up. Maybe not as much once they crash into the turret there. But it looks like you're going to lose a plate here early. It's looking pretty grim for TSM's bot lane. And then the failed dive top. This is looking like a good game for Cloud9 already. It's hard to call it this early. And to be fair, Cloud9 looked really good last game. But getting out of it, just barely dodging that hook. So we got a gank coming in top. Oh my word, they're just taking him past the turret. He can't do anything. Oh my Lanta. Cloud9, that looks so easy. He tried to flash back in under the turret, it looked like, but he flashed again between Poppy and a wall, which, hello? Lissandra's just going to murder this matchup now. She's got double buffs. I mean, that's not going to... Hecarim's coming in just to be a butthead. Another first straight Cloud Drake, which I'm sure Cloud9's not happy about. Flash flame to no hook. Feels bad. They did get the flash up from the jungler, but that's a feels bad. Man, this gank feels easy. I think Kumo's doing a really good job positioning, because he is having to reposition. But yeah, no, you're just walking. You're not even flashing that close to your turret. At least make her shove you into your own turret so that she has to walk the whole way out to get out of turret range. But man, not knowing how to play around Poppy. Maybe that's my friend group. We play a lot of Poppy, but these feel like basic things you need to know how to do against Poppy. And it's really just don't be between the Poppy and a wall. Not rocket science here. So this early lead gives Poppy the Bomby Cinder to help push out waves, which is going to be her biggest problem against Jace. NA Jace, baby. The ultimate bait. Still gets nerfed, still gets picked, still loses. I mean, he's up in CS, but he needs to be up way more in CS to be valuable than that Poppy. More valuable than that Poppy, who has a kill and assist. Mid lane, we're about to start getting some turret plates here. We even have Thresh roaming for funsies. BF sword back versus Vamp longsword feels good for Jinx. BF dagger too, so it's even more. That lane's pretty balanced. Already got boots up, went for the boots upgrade versus the relic upgrade. That's interesting. I like that. Thresh roams so strong. Get out of jail free cards, potential hooks. Again, nobody's going bananas for this Cloud Drake. Sorry, Cloud Drake. Sorry, Freak, but Cloud Drake still no one cares. Early 1K, 1.5K, not even 1K gold, a little over 1K gold lead for Cloud9. TSM's bot lane is starting to take this advantage, which I thought they would have. Even with the BF sword buy from Jinx, it's just Lucian has so much free damage built in his kit with that passive. Mid lane's kind of balanced out, surprisingly. Lysandra's not like the hardest pusher, I guess, or the most oppressive mid laner. So I guess because they saw the Lysandra, they felt like the Sion was safe enough to take mid. That's just nobody wins lane, kind of. And I guess, I mean, if you're going nobody wins against the enemy team's best player, I feel like that feels good. That being said, well, maybe not their best player because Blabber's about to come dumpster this top lane again. Man, look how far Cloud9 is up in this blue side jungle. TSM just doesn't own this place. Grig is going to take the drag off this. Now, remember what I said last game. Dragons feel good, man. Like, I've seen a lot of games won with just dragons. And to be fair, I was also right about last game. The team who had the dragons won. I don't think that was necessarily why, but free stats are free stats. Looks like we got a lot of TSM boys bot lane, which makes Brandini's life absolutely horrendous. Oh my word, no one's even taken turret yet. Oh my word, so free. And they're going to work on this turret right here. Nothing happened bot. Nothing was got out of that. Lysandra got to free push mid. Yeah, they took some turret plates and pushed Jinx out of lane, but they're going to take a bunch of turret plates top. They already took some turret plate, a turret plate mid. Golden Glue's going to just keep pushing this forever with blue buff again. I did expect him to win this lane a little more, especially when he got the double bust, but that didn't really happen. I guess Sion did get a little buffed, so I guess his wave clear is probably a little bit more of a match to go back to mid lane than he was in the most recent patches. But yeah, I feel like Lysandra getting that first kill in double bust, I feel like this lane should have been a lot worse for Sion. Because you can, yeah, look how, like, yeah, they don't do a ton of damage, but when you just get to spam them every half second, still be fine on mana. Feels good. It is Aftershock, I assume. Yeah, it is Aftershock at Sandra, so you don't have like the bonus rune poke. And Spellbook. I have not seen that. Spellbook. Oh god, this looks so mean. I actually 1v1'd one of my friends in this matchup, and it is a little trickier than you think. Especially now that she's got Sunfire Cape finish, she's going to be doing some serious... you're going to be doing some serious no damage for this Poppy. So, damn, that just clears the wave. Okay. That explains a lot. When you can just clear backline minions with one ability, that's pretty huge. But, man, Kumo is dumpstering this top lane. I think this is probably the Cloud9 people we're looking for. Team fights though, yeah, still Cloud9 looks so good. Ooh, eating that knockup hurt. We'll see how it goes though. Next Drake is Mountain. Expect some good fighting over there. TSM currently has 3 pink wards over there. 4 pink wards over there. They're investing a ton of vision there. Whereas Cloud9 look like they just want to keep shoving this Jace into his turret and try and get this first turret. They also have potential Rift Herald take. We do see Elise here for potential counter dive if they do try and dive the Jace, which is a strong possibility. You see that teleport get used, and if you're Blabber and you're a gutsy dude, which Blabber is Blabber and he is a gutsy dude, you're like, what if he just teleported to lane and we just kill him? Looks like they're backing off that a little bit. Bot lane is getting roughed up a little bit too, though. This is, like I said, Lucian is real strong early to mid game. Jinx needs a little while longer to scale up. Lucian already has his Blade of the Ruined King versus Jinx just on some items for IE. Isn't there yet. Blue team, TSM, what are you guys up to here? Just trying to keep some top lane vision. Get that pink ward on the Rift Herald so you can see if it's being gone for, but yeah. Interested to see what the goals of TSM is here with the early deficit top lane. Mid lane again, it's actually got a CS lead to Ablaze Olive, so good job there. Way to just toughen out that matchup. We're probably going to get first turret right here. I don't think, yeah, they're not answering a top. They're taking, once again, I think this is the same thing that happened. One team, I could think it was the same teams too. One team traded Rift Herald for first turret. So very interesting choices. TSM rotating to mid here. Oh, are they going for, okay. Dang, that's some serious damage from Sion. Can they get the, yep, they get him before Jace makes it into the fight. He's not, oh, the Brandini Cube manages to get him. And actually, Blaze Olive's getting a lot of damage down in his passive here. Rift Herald goes to Cloud9 because Elise gets, or TSM, holy crap, really turned that around. Man, I keep thinking Cloud9 blue. This did stabilize bot lane a little bit because Nautilus roamed so far up. Bot lane is able to kind of push out, but even still, Lucian's not doing terrible in this 2v1 matchup. He's getting pushed into his tower, but they're not going to get a lot more out of it. Mountain Drake is up in 3 seconds. Red team's, man, Poppy's still getting a dumpster this top lane. Let's see. Overall, that's still Cloud9 gold. We'll see if they can use the Rift Herald. They didn't get bot lane turret either. So, major advantages for Cloud9, it feels like still. Let's see how this goes. So, Golden Glue sees, he's going in. He's like, oh, okay, we got you, Jace. Blabber just gets demolished by that ultimate, just barely on the edge of it. Good job from Treats to keep Golden Glue out of that fight for as long as he did. That could have been a lot different fight if Golden Glue was in there sooner. In fact, they were able to get Golden Glue probably right here as a response. Yeah, because it took him so long. That being said, Golden Glue did get stalled long enough for Kumo to 1v1 the Jace. So all in all, considering TSM was already behind, that feels good for TSM. And they're about to get a kill down here probably. Greg manages to get out. Oh my god, no! Oh my gosh, the turnaround. And Blaze Olive's like, oh my bad, bro, I'll take the next one. I didn't need to let you get hit by that zap, but I've got the next one, bro. But man, Cloud9, no, that was probably as good as TSM was going to get there, but Kumo's just dumpstering top so bad. MA Jace, baby. Don't fall for it. Oh, Keith, what are you doing, baby? Oh my god, that was so greedy. I'm not sure what they thought they were going to do there. That's a Scion. I don't know if you know this, but he's super tanky. Really hard to do anything about. So I'm not sure if they were just hoping he wouldn't actually do damage and they could just murder the turret around with him there. This is not going to do much. Oh, he can just hit this turret. That's what he's going to do. Or they're not going to... Oh my Lanta. TSM turning this game around. They get the first... Not first turret, second turret. They get to answer the turret top. They get to just run down 2 bottom kills for what feels like nothing. Having no mana there. Getting caught out a little bit. A little greedy from Golden Glue. What happened here? So this is the bot lane fight. Tactical way out of position. Ooh, did he flash there? Oh. Flashing in a straight line. Meanwhile, we got another fight bot. TSM... Oh my... I did not know that was how that was work. Really smart move from Tactical here. I think he's... Nope. Keith... Oh my gosh. Keith just got excited, man. Oh, that's bad news, Bears. TSM's been fighting their way back into this game, but a little greedy. I'm not sure if they just fought where they didn't have vision or if they thought the Lucian was doing well enough to make that work. But... yeah, that's a feels bad, mate. Brandini is getting some push down top. This is good for him. He's balancing out the CS that he's still behind on Poppy. Meanwhile, man, Ablaze Olive. I'm really liking his matchups in the Golden Glue right now. He's making Golden Glue not look like the hard carry that I kind of anticipated for this game, and maybe other people did. That's a feels bad, man. I don't like seeing that. I don't like when you don't use Herald at all. You just pop it in mid lane. But TSM got it. They're way on the back foot. I guess that makes sense. what happened is that you didn't let C9 use it, and right now C9 has all the pressure in the world, so not letting C9 use it. What? Oh, okay. That's a spectator bug. I was like, he's like, I'm out of here, dude. There's too many Cloud9 players coming. I'm not a part of that life. No, he was. That was the observer glitch. That happens every once in a while. Right now, what do we see? Next dragon is mountain again. TSM did get the dragon again. Man, Greg has such good dragon control, which I think, again, is highly, highly undervalued. Even at LCS level, sometimes. Some teams just act like dragon doesn't matter, and sorry to say this, but free stats matter. Especially if you can set it up with low cost. I guess that was the cost of that fight. They did take a bad fight. And, oh no, Elise, Greg. Oh, I think you're just dead. Well, they are getting into the Jinx. Oh, there it is. There's that dive on the Jinx. Jinx for Greg. It feels good for blue team. They did use a lot of CC to get that Jinx, though. But Jace is getting to put down some AoE. He's might burn out. Looks like he's going to live. But Blaze Olive, man, just tanking forever. They do eventually work him down. It is a 3 for 2. So still advantage to Cloud9. 4 for 2. Major advantage for Cloud9. Poppy's just 4-0-4 on Poppy's just no bueno. Man, Poppy's one of my favorite champions. It was one of my favorites before the rework, but she just does such a deceptive amount of damage. Jinx, they do a great job. Ult, hook, never gets to do anything. But Lucian, what happens to you, Lucian? You get thresh hooked. That's what happens to you, Lucian. You can't do that right now. You guys just picked off the enemy carry. You need to stay alive in that case. You need to make sure you're behind your front line. You have at least one massive frontliner with Sion. And Nautilus isn't super tanky yet because he's a support. But he's still a big dude. You need to stay behind those guys. 200. He did less damage than the Jinx. And the Jinx got double ulted. That's not okay. You cannot let that happen. See, what should have happened is the Elisa damage from the Jinx damage should have balanced out, and then that 42k from the Hecarim should have been matched by something from Lucian. If you're just going to die like that, you're useless. Speaking of useless, Jace top, baby, for the win. And here's where it gets ugly, because now Jinx is not going to get jumped on by double ults. Oh, almost gets jumped on by a single ult. Actually, a Blaze Olive, man, really... Blaze Olive is one of my MVPs of this map. If TSM wins this game, it's 100% on a Blaze Olive. That counter engage ult to keep the rest of the team off of that fight was huge. That being said, Kumo over here split push Poppy. Literally the opposite of how this matchup is supposed to go. Jace is not supposed to be grouped up with the team, and Poppy is not supposed to be split pushing, but hey, you up a ton of gold and have a 500 gold bounty, you get to do what you want. Like flash knocking her into the wall and just murdering her. And Poppy is not going to die right here. Spoiler alert. Golden Glue is just going to get in here, get some damage. Poppy still... Okay, now Poppy might die. Poppy might have gotten a little greedy. That's not a lot of vision for Cloud9. I feel like Cloud9... It's just greeting this game away. Like, even though TSM is down 4k gold, 3k gold, give or take, it just feels like, oh, Brandini, you can't. There's a horse out here. Oh, great dodge on the stun. That's what kept Blabber alive there, so he could Zhonya's and then ult murder her. Does Greg get out of this fight? I really want to know. But that ult to force Jinx back is huge. I really want to know why Lissandra just pieces out here. She doesn't have mana. Okay. That guy right there. What a fucking G. No, sorry. Anyway. This game is... Cloud9 should be winning this game super hard, it feels like. But they're just not. And not sure why exactly. I feel like they could have taken that fight. Golden Glue didn't have mana, which sucks, but Jinx could have still free hit. It's really a Blaze Olive, dude. He's just tanky AF. He literally has almost no completed items, but all of the uncompleted items in the world. It's Tale of Two Tanks. Poppy versus Scion. There's the Engage. It's the Thresh, not the Jinx, but that Nautilus ult is just so huge. You can just hit the Jinx anyway. Nobody follows it up, so it doesn't mean anything. But so Cloud9 just wins the game here. But oh my Lanta, Grig, you dirty dog! Oh, okay, pentakill. I didn't even notice that from Keith. That's yeah. I think Cloud9 could be playing this a lot cleaner, and I think TSM's doing a great job. Ablaze Olive, you look amazing. Please don't kill yourself, Diamond. Kumo, you just unkillable if he doesn't decide to face check 5 people. Keith has got the peeling he needs. He's got the front line he needs. Like I said, there's just if you don't get to this Jinx, you just lose. There's no scenario where you can beat this team if you aren't on top of that Jinx. Nautilus gets the ult off here, but nobody follows it up. There's 0 damage done after. Everyone pops everything on that Thresh, which doesn't feel super valuable. Let's see how this goes. See, you land the hook. Now Lucian ult. Now a bunch of other knockups. Meanwhile, Hecarim's just causing some chaos in the fight. Jinx just like a little bit on the outside to get my double kill. Now I start going nuts, and Hecarim does die in that fight, and this from Grig is just like, hello, I can burst. And Flash Auto with the blue trinket. What a dog, red buff. Man, just a bit outside. Okay, Keith. Good stuff from Cloud9 though. Really good job. Like I said, they've got the much easier comp. Like, TSM's looking good, but there's so much more it feels like TSM has to do in these fights. Cloud9 just has to run at you while Keith hits people in the face. Diamond can stay back and kind of peel for Keith, but if anybody gets engaged on that isn't Keith, it doesn't matter. Look at this. You're getting engaged on from a bunch of different angles. Diamond's taking a ton of damage, missed all of his hook and stuff. But guess who's getting to free fire this whole time? Mofo Keith. Keith is getting to free fire this whole time. Kumo's getting to turret dive because he doesn't care. So, yeah, this game just is so easy for Cloud9. And there's the rocket. And there's the second turret that they're diving. And that's the game. Cloud9, I think, great job with knowing that they can force team fights. I feel like TSM kind of got caught halfway between a split push comp and not a split push comp. I think Ablaze Olive did fantastic on the Scion. I think maybe a real mid laner, man. But at the same time, then you wouldn't have had Ablaze Olive on the Scion, so it's like, I don't know here. Brandini did, NA Jace is what Brandini did. The biggest bait ever. And yeah, I think life lesson is NA Jace. I know this sounds like a Riot or Reddit analyst attacking you with a bunch of NA Jace stuff, but let's look at these comps again. What are you going to do as TSM here? You've got Jace split pushing, right? Maybe you can 1-3-1, but I mean, Poppy can match the Scion and instead of the Jace and let Lysandra, but I mean, Poppy also had enough armor to fight off a whole legion of Jaces, so might as well put her in the lane with the Jace, especially with the lead she got. Let's say, though, Jace gets the lead he needs, right? What are you doing? He's the only poke you're providing. You got a little poke from Elise, but that's it, and you're poking a Poppy and a Hecarim, who both don't care. Yeah, it's Blabber Hecarim, so it's Triforce Warrior Enchant Hecarim, but he can still get tanky if he needed to, which he just didn't. He got the advantage, so he didn't. Lysandra is also Aftershock Lysandra, so you put poke into that, and she doesn't care. Thresh is Aftershock too, so he doesn't care. If you're not putting poke onto Jinx, which you have no way to guarantee that poke hits Jinx, like, this is just so, like, there's nothing Cloud9 can do, or TSM can do to Jinx. And I think that's problematic. The Nautilus ult was the one thing, and that felt really good. And that was hitting the Jinx, and that was stalling a lot of her damage. But nobody was with him. Grig was not getting onto that, which you need to be able to repel and jump onto that. Lucian was not getting onto that. You need to be ignoring. Lucian is not going to kill these tanks. Not going to kill this Aftershock Lysandra. Not going to kill this Hecarim. I mean, was killing Hecarim. Not going to kill this Poppy. You need to be getting onto that Jinx. And there's just so much chaos happening with Lysandra ulting herself on you, Hecarim ulting on your team, fearing everybody, Poppy just in there doing her crap. So there's so much chaos happening around that even when Nautilus is doing his job and pressing his R button on the Jinx, no one can do anything about it. Jace can't get around to that unless you get some epic flanks going on from Sion or from Jace with like a full shock blast onto the Jinx. I don't see any way that this happens. And again, that's what it comes down to. One comp is so easy to execute. Run at the enemy team, let Jinx fire over the top. Easy as that. You can take bad engages. Some of these engages did not look good. But even in those engages, they still went even or close to even in the fights. That's the thing. It was like TSM was making some good plays. Grig was setting up some good fights, it felt like. But even when they set up a good fight, it was just so much easier for TSM to work around it, to move around it, to just back off when they need to have Poppy be super fed and charge in. I mean, the biggest thing, though, is like it's hard to blame this comp too much. As much as I think this did come down a lot to comp, when frickin' Jace, when Jace gets dumpstered by Poppy, your top laner is useless in comparison. Even though Golden Glue, I felt like should have won the mid lane matchup, who cares? He still can ult himself. He still can Zhonya's or ult one of your Tart carries. He can either ult one of your carries or himself. He can still Zhonya's. He can still CC. He can still do his job. Jinx, even though like had that nice early game, nice little beginning to the game, started to get destroyed in lane. Like look at the CS difference. It's a 20 CS difference, but it didn't matter because you could do your job. Everyone on Cloud9 could do their job from ahead or behind. Maybe Hecarim would struggle a little bit, but like I said, Hecarim can just go kind of tanky if he has to. Whereas TSM, Jace has to get ahead. Sion can go even, that was fine. Lucian has to get ahead, has to start pushing advantages. It feels like the same with Elise. I feel like Elise and Hecarim have a lot of kind of similar things, but at the end of the day, you have to land that skill shot, which I saw a lot of missed stuns. You have to repel at the right time, which you couldn't do when you're CC'd all the time. So I feel like the execution difficulty between these two comps is just vastly different, and that's what gave Cloud9 a lot of a lead there. Okay, and that's it for Game 2. I'll be right back with Game 3.